My brother walked into my wedding and whispered something in my ear that made me walk out on my bride in front of everyone. And I'll never forget her face when I did. I always thought I'd be the one to mess things up. Not her. Not like this. The ceremony was already halfway through when my brother slid up beside me like he was part of the show. He wasn't supposed to be there. Told me he had a flight, couldn't make it. That was line number one. He leaned in, brushed a hand over his mouth like he was trying to keep the words in. Don't marry her, he said, low and shaking. I found something. Last night. I didn't move. Didn't blink. Just stood there with sweat dripping down my spine under 3 layers of tux, staring at the woman I thought I knew. Her smile was too wide. Her hands were too still. I knew that smile. Practiced. The kind she used when she needed something. What are you talking about? I whispered, not looking at him. He slipped something into my palm. A flash drive. Taped to the inside of a folded napkin. He said, bathroom. Stall. 5 minutes. Then he was gone. Just like that. I don't even remember finishing the vows. I don't remember the kiss. I barely remember the cheers. I just remember walking back down the aisle like I was headed for a cliff I didn't see coming. In the bathroom, I locked the stall, peeled the napkin apart like it was holding a bomb. My brother's handwriting on the inside, play everything. Don't trust her reaction. I could hear the music from the reception already starting. The DJ trying to hype the crowd. My name echoing off the walls. And I was just sitting there on a toilet in a suit that didn't feel like mine, holding a flash drive like it was poison. I pulled up the files on my phone. No labels. Just timestamps. All from the last 3 months. I hit play. Her voice. Laughing. Low. Not with me. Someone else. I stopped breathing. You think he'll ever find out? The guy said, voice muffled. She laughed again. Only if you're stupid enough to tell him. They laughed together. Then silence. Then noises I won't describe. My ears rang. My stomach flipped. I sat there for 5 whole minutes before I could even move. I walked out of that stall with the flash drive still in my hand, shaking. I found my brother posted by the door, arms crossed. He didn't say a word. Just looked at me. I asked, when did you find out? He said, last night. I went to get her phone to ask what kind of cake you wanted. She left it open. Messages were still popping up. I said nothing. Couldn't. The world felt tilted. Then he said the worst part. The part 1 wasn't ready for. She messaged him during your rehearsal dinner. Said, wish it was you standing up there. I don't remember walking out to the reception. I just remember the heat. The lights. Her face glowing like she'd won. Like she had everyone right where she wanted. I stood in the middle of the floor. Raised the mic. Everyone went quiet. I looked straight at her and said, there's been a change of plans. Her smile froze. Eyes locked on mine. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't scream. I just said, you know what you did. The DJ killed the music. People started murmuring. Chairs scraped. Then she said it. Just loud enough for the mic to catch. Wait, what did he tell you? I didn't need to say anything else. That one sentence. That was her confession. I walked out. And the fallout that followed shattered everything. The second I stepped off that dance floor, the room exploded behind me. I heard her yell my name. Heard her heels slamming against the tile. Heard my mom scream, what the hell is going on? But I didn't stop. I felt her fingers grab the back of my jacket. She spun me halfway around, eyes wide, fake tears already pouring like she was on a damn soap opera. Please, she gasped. Whatever he showed you, it's not what you think. I cut her off. Quiet, but sharp. He showed me you. Not what I think. What I know. Her face cracked. Just a twitch in her jaw, but I saw it. My brother was standing by the bar. He didn't move, didn't gloat, didn't smile. He just watched. Solid as hell. Only reason I wasn't on the floor curled up and screaming. She followed me outside, grabbing at my arms, still trying to work that voice she used when she wanted to sound fragile. The same one she used when she told me she didn't want a big wedding, just something small and real. Yeah. Real my ass. I turned and looked at her. I mean really looked at her. Dress perfect. Makeup untouched. Not a single smudge. Like she hadn't felt a damn thing. Like this wasn't a funeral. Was any of it real? I asked. Did you ever even love me, or was I just the one dumb enough to get on one knee? She tried to cry. I watched her force it. I swear to God, I watched her try to cry. Then she broke script. She snapped. Okay. You wanna do this here? Fine, she hissed. We weren't perfect, okay? You were always working, always tired, always boring. I needed something. My whole body went cold. And who was he? I asked. Give me a name. She hesitated. Just a flicker. That was all I needed. Jesus, I muttered. You don't even know which one I saw, do you? She tried to fake a laugh. You're being dramatic. I turned my back on her. She called out, you think you're the victim here? You humiliated me in front of everyone. I didn't even turn around when I said it. You did that all by yourself. I found my brother leaning against my car, arms crossed. He said, you good to drive? I wasn't. But I said I was. As we pulled away, I looked in the rear view. She was standing in the middle of the street, dress glowing under the streetlights, looking like a ghost. I asked him, how long do you think this was going on? He sighed. I don't know. The messages go back months. But, the oldest one I found. I waited. It was the night you proposed. That silence after. That was me bleeding from the inside. I didn't go home. Couldn't. Every room in that apartment had her fingerprints on it. Instead, I crashed at my brother's place, sat on his couch with the lights off while he played the audio again, piece by piece. My hands were shaking too hard to stop him. There was another voice. One I recognized. And when I heard it, my stomach dropped. Her ex. The one she said was toxic. Manipulative. The one she said traumatized her. Yeah. That guy. He was the one she messaged during the rehearsal dinner. I sat back, closed my eyes, tried to breathe. My brother asked, you wanna wreck him? I didn't answer. Not because I didn't want to. But because I did. Way too much. Instead, I just said, let it burn. The next morning, my phone had blown up. Missed calls, voicemails, texts from people I hadn't talked to in years. A few friends, mostly her side. Her sister even texted me, please call me. There's more you need to know. That sentence just kept spinning in my head. There's more. I wasn't sure I could take more. But I called. And what she told me next tore everything wide open. I didn't even say hello when her sister picked up. She answered on the first ring like she was sitting there staring at the screen. Her voice cracked right out of the gate. I was going to tell you before the wedding. I swear. But she made me promise. I didn't say anything. Just waited. Let her fill the silence. And she did. She was seeing him the whole time. Her ex Jared. Since before you even moved in together. I caught her sneaking out once, back in November, and she told me it was closure. That she needed to see him to get over him. Closure. Right. Her sister kept talking. I told her she was out of her mind. That you didn't deserve that. And you don't, okay? You've been nothing but good to her. I begged her to stop. I begged her. I leaned against the wall, head thudding back against the drywall. My mouth felt like it was full of dust. She said it wasn't serious, her sister continued, voice breaking. That she just needed someone to make her feel wanted again. And the worst part? She said you'd never leave her. That you loved her too much. I think that's when something inside me cracked. That was it. That was the truth I hadn't wanted to admit. I did love her too much. Loved her past the warning signs. Past the inconsistencies. Past the late nights and the gaslighting and the stories that changed just enough to feel off but not enough to prove. Her sister went quiet. Then she said, there's one more thing. I sat down hard. Go. She told him she was going to leave you. That she just needed to lock down the money first. I felt the blood drain from my face. She said it like a joke, her sister added quickly. Like she was kidding. But I didn't believe her. I don't think she was. I hung up after that. Politely. I said thank you. I said take care. Then I sat there and let every good memory I had rot from the inside. The way she used to curl into me like I was her whole world. Fake. The little notes she left in my suitcase when I traveled for work. Strategy. The tears she cried when I proposed. Performance. I'd been living in a damn play. And everyone had a script but me. My brother came in an hour later with food I couldn't eat. He didn't say much, just handed me a beer and sat across from me. After a few minutes, I asked, you think she ever loved me? He didn't answer right away. Just cracked his knuckles, leaned forward, and said, I think she loved the version of you she could control. That hit harder than anything else. I went to our apartment the next day. She wasn't there. Half her stuff was gone. The framed pictures, the plants, the drawers she used to hide all the fancy skincare crap she claimed she'd never bought. But she'd left the ring, right in the middle of the kitchen counter, like a message. I looked at it for a long time, then I laughed, just once. Short, bitter. Then I saw the envelope next to it. My name, her handwriting. Inside was a note. No apology. No admission. Just one line, "You'll thank me someday." I stood there in the kitchen, looking at that note, and felt something twist in my chest that I couldn't name. Was it hate? No. It was deeper than that. It was grief, for a future I thought we were building, for the man I thought I was when I looked at her. I dropped the note in the trash. I kept the ring, not because I wanted it, but because pawn shops don't take broken promises. Later that night, I got a text from her. Just 3 words. "You ruined everything." And that's when I knew she hadn't learned a damn thing. She still thought I was the one who burned it down. Nah. All I did was walk away from the fire she'd been hiding for years. But I wasn't done yet. Because if she thought I'd take this quietly, she didn't know me at all. 2 days after she texted, "You ruined everything," I posted a single photo. Just one. The flash drive. Caption. "Every lie has a voice. Here's hers." I didn't name her. Didn't tag her. Didn't have to. It took less than 3 hours before my inbox exploded. Old college friends, people from work, mutuals I barely talked to, everyone wanted to know what happened. I let the silence stir the pot. By nightfall, someone had already leaked one of the audio clips. Not me. I swear. Probably someone my brother trusted with the files. But once it was out, there was no putting it back. The laugh. That damn laugh of hers. The line about wishing it was him standing at the altar. Yeah. That clip went viral. Her voice was everywhere. I woke up the next morning to 20 missed calls. 10 from unknown numbers. 4 from her. 1 from her mother. And 5 from her ex's number. Yeah, him. He had the balls to text me, "You think this makes you look good? You just exposed yourself as weak." I didn't respond. Just screenshotted it and added it to the drive. Petty? Maybe. But I was past caring. She finally called me that afternoon. I picked up. Wanted to hear her voice one last time. She came in hot. "What the hell is wrong with you? You're destroying my entire life." I sat down, leaned back, stared at the ceiling. "Nah. Just letting people see the one you actually live. You think this makes you a hero?" She spat. "You're pathetic." I said, "Then why'd you marry me?" She didn't answer. I asked again, sharper. "Why'd you marry me if I was so pathetic?" Still silence. Then she finally said, "Because I thought you'd make me better." Jesus. I almost laughed, but it wasn't funny. It was sad. Deep, bone-level sad. "You used me," I said. "You built a whole life out of fake smiles and half-truths, and when it cracked, you blamed me." Her voice dropped. "You think you're the only one who got hurt?" "No," I said. "But I'm the only one who didn't deserve it." Then I hung up. A few hours later, her sister messaged me again. "She's spiraling. She might quit her job. Says she can't show her face." I didn't reply. Not because I wanted her to suffer. I didn't. But because she needed this fallout. Every enabler, every cover-up, every time someone told her she was just misunderstood. That was part of the problem. I wasn't going to cushion her landing anymore. The people who mattered, my friends, my family, they backed me. Even the ones who doubted it at first came around fast once they heard the recordings. My mom cried when she found out. Not because the wedding blew up, but because she'd seen my face that day. And she knew, deep down, something had died in me. "You looked so calm," she said, shaking her head. "I should have known you were breaking." I told her, I was. And I still was, honestly. Every morning I woke up and remembered that I almost gave my whole life to a lie. The worst part? I still missed her sometimes. Not the real her. The version I thought she was. The one who danced in our kitchen with no music. The one who fell asleep mid-sentence because she felt safe next to me. The one who cried when I read her my vows before the rehearsal dinner. That woman didn't exist. She was just a damn illusion. One I fell for like a fool. I started therapy. Twice a week. My brother pushed me into it, and I'll never stop being grateful. First thing my therapist said was, "What's the hardest part?" I didn't even hesitate. Knowing I still loved her when she ruined me. And I did. God help me, I did. But love without truth is just self-destruction with a pretty face. It took me months to stop checking her socials. To stop wondering if she was posting subtweets. If she was happy. if she was still with him. But then one day, I didn't check. And I didn't notice until the day after. That's how healing starts. Not in some big movie moment, but in silence. In forgetting her name for 5 minutes. And finally, remembering mine. 6 months. That's how long it's been since I walked out of my own wedding with a flash drive in my hand and my entire life turned to ash behind me. People still ask me why I didn't just go through with it. Fake it. Get the party over with. Handle it later. Here's the truth. The second I heard her voice in those recordings, something inside me snapped clean. The trust? Gone. The love? Cracked in half. I didn't have the strength to lie in front of my family, my friends, God, myself. I haven't seen her since that last phone call. But I've heard about her. The guy she cheated with didn't stick around. Once the public mess hit, he bailed. Just ghosted. Her Instagram went private. She deleted half her followers. Word is, she tried transferring jobs, didn't get the offer. I'd be lying if I said I felt nothing. I did. Still do. But not like before. It's not anger anymore. It's just clarity. The kind that doesn't come with revenge, or justice, or some neat little ending. It comes with silence. Space. Breathing room. My brother and I, we're closer than ever. I owe him more than I can say. He didn't just hand me the truth. He gave me back my life. One night, a couple weeks ago, we were sitting out on his porch, drinking beers and watching the sun die behind the trees. He looked over at me and said, "You know you dodged a bullet, right?" I nodded. I didn't just dodge it. I saw it coming in slow motion and still almost let it hit me. He laughed, but not like it was funny. Just like he understood. "I ever tell you," he said, "that she tried to flirt with me once?" I turned my head. "What?" "Yeah. Like a year ago. Nothing obvious. Just weird comments. Compliments that felt off. I thought I was crazy. My jaw clenched. "Why didn't you tell me?" "Because you were in love, man. And she had you so locked in, I figured you'd defend her no matter what." He was right. Back then, I would have called him jealous, overprotective, paranoid. Anything but right. I looked out over the yard, took a deep breath, and said, "Thanks for telling me now." We sat in silence after that. The good kind. The kind that doesn't feel empty. I've been going to therapy every week. I'm learning how to separate love from attachment. How to spot manipulation before it wears a wedding dress. How to trust my gut again. And last week, I went on my first real date. Nothing serious. Just dinner and conversation. But it felt honest. No games. No power plays. No looking over my shoulder, wondering what lie was hiding in her smile. When I dropped her off, she kissed my cheek and said, "You seem like someone who's been through hell, but made it back." I smiled for the first time in a long time. Because I had. This whole thing, everything I went through, it didn't make me better. But it made me clear. Clear on what love actually is. Clear on what betrayal feels like. Clear on the fact that walking away isn't weakness. It's the strongest thing I've ever done. And if she ever hears this, if she ever stumbles across my voice telling this story, I want her to know something. You didn't break me. You freed me. I walked out of that wedding alone. But I never looked back.